I am a terrible substitute for Comicstorian. Yes, I am. I accept that. But while I am here, I will do my best to keep you entertained because Benny reached out and said, hey man, like my voice is going out and I didn't have a chance to get a whole bunch of content out for when I'm in Singapore. He's like, so can you make some stuff? And I said, yes, I will make a video on like the top 5 most powerful characters in DC Comics. So, number 5, Darkseid. This lovable being first appeared in Superman's pal Jimmy Olsen, number 134 in 1970. He was created by Jack Kirby, and Darkseid has the power of the Omega Beams, which is a form of energy that he fires from his eyes or his hands and can erase living objects and organisms from existence. He also has the ability to resurrect fallen beings. His super strength and invulnerability are almost on the same level as Superman's, and he possesses telepathy and telekinesis. Now, during the Great Darkness Saga, he possessed a whole range of powers, like the ability to move planets into different solar systems, mind control an entire planet, and defeat powerful beings like Mon-El, Mondru, and Time Trapper, and has on one occasion destroyed half of the Amazons on Earth. In addition to this, his durability is so great that he's withstood direct strikes from the AntiMonitor, planetary explosions, and even resisted the powers of a Green Lantern ring. Now that's not to say that Darkseid has no weaknesses. In fact, he is weak to divine, indestructible weapons like Wonder Woman's sword, Aquaman's trident, and Superman, of course, has been shown to hurt him on several occasions, as well as Radion, which is forged from his home realm. He's also obsessed with the anti-life equation, which of course, as we know, grants the wielder its ability to control all life in the universe, or at least, depending on what story we're talking about, control all life in the universe, essentially wiping out free will within the multiverse itself. Moving on, the 4th most powerful being in the DC universe is the AntiMonitor. This wildly popular guy first appeared in Crisis on Infinite Earths issue number 2, but he was actually immersed in shadow and no one really knew what he looked like. What we know is that when the Guardian of the Universe Krona viewed the creation of the universe itself, it resulted in the creation of the antimatter universe and the introduction of evil to a universe that had otherwise never seen it before. As a result, he was instantly aware of the Monitor, who was his parallel, and the two of them battled for 1 billion years, unleashing an insane amount of energy upon one another. Now, after this ensuing battle, they both went into hibernation for quite some time until being reawakened by the Overmonitor. Now, the AntiMonitor has near limitless cosmic powers and is able to warp reality and absorb entire universes into himself. The AntiMonitor was also able to defy the Spectre after being augmented by several powerful sorcerers and Mr. Mxyzptlk. He's also been able to appear in several universes simultaneously, and his energy projection can unmake matter at its most basic level. However, there are a few caveats to his character. Most notably, he was defeated by a combined attack by the Guardians of the Universe, John Stewart and Guy Gardner, as well as Superman from Earth 2 and Superman from Earth 1, and eventually he was resurrected and banished to the antimatter universe. And coming in at number 3 on our list of the most powerful beings in the DC universe would probably have to be any one of the White Lanterns, more specifically Kyle Rayner. Originally appearing in Blackest Night number 7 in 2011, the Jeff Johns and Ivan Rice story tells the tale of those who wield the Ring of Life. Although the full abilities of those who wield the Ring of the White Lanterns is not fully spelled out, we can see a multitude of the powers and abilities of those who control this ring and the combined powers of the 7 light-based core. After combining with the life entity, Sinestro's Green Lantern ring is actually turned into white. Now, among the many powers of the wielders of the White Lantern ring are the ability to use the effect of the fundamental forces of the universe, like gravity, radiation, heat, light, and the like. The limitations of the ring are limited only by skill, knowledge, and imagination of the ring wearer. Among the feats that have been accomplished by the White Ring is an ability to duplicate itself, as Hal Jordan has shown. The powers of the White Lantern ring destroyed Nekron, who was rescued by the Black Lantern Corps and was composed of heroes like Superman, Wonder Woman, Kid Flash, and others, as well as bring the Anti-Monitor back from the dead. The ring also brought several heroes back from the dead as well, helping them form the core of the White Lanterns, which is powered by life. In some ways, the White Lantern ring is as strong as fate itself, as the storyline exhibits in The Brightest Day, that shows that in order to resurrect and preserve Swamp Thing, that certain people had to be converted to elements in order to fight off the Dark Avatar. This sacrifice eventually leads to the resurrection of Swamp Thing and Deadman, after Deadman sacrifices his life to save another. Now, the second most powerful non-cosmic being in the DC universe is Superman 1,000,000. The Superman 1,000,000 was conceived in 1998, taking place during the 853rd century, presumably when DC would publish its 1,000,000th of their comics if they maintained a regular publishing series. The miniseries was written by Grant Morrison and drawn by Val Semeiks. This is actually an alternate storyline, and in this particular event, the first Superman, known as Superman Prime, had isolated himself and let his inhabitants take over protecting the Earth for a multitude of years. The 853rd century version of Superman is immensely powerful, being considered Superman Prime, and having spent 15 15,000 years confined at the center of the sun in his new Fortress of Solitude. To understand how powerful that would make the sun-powered base Superman, Comic Vine at GameSpot published an article that detailed some of the feats that Superman 1 million would be able to accomplish. Considering that pre-New 52 Superman dipped into the sun for 15 minutes and came out 3 times more powerful, they ran a list of how much more powerful Superman would become. In this list, he was able to hit Solaris, the primary villain of the DC 1 million storyline, and recreate Krypton as well as Lois Lane. Among the most impressive feats, at least that I saw on this list, was the fact that Superman is estimated to be able to fly at over 17 billion miles per hour, or several times faster than the speed of light. Finally, the most powerful non-cosmic being in the DC universe would probably have to be Mr. Mxyzptlk. First appearing in Superman number 30 in 1944, Mr. M, as we're going to call him, is an imp from the 5th dimension who uses his immense power to annoy instead of destroy Superman. It's actually pretty hilarious. As a being of the 5th dimension, Mr. Mxyzptlk is able to use technology that seems like magic to those beings that exist in the 3rd dimension. He has universe-disrupting power, his power is only limited by his willpower, and Mr. M's demeanor and motivations vary according to the age and the storyline that he's associated with, but he's also one of Superman's oldest and most powerful foes. He has appeared as a foe of both Superman and Superboy, although at the time he said that he saved them because he pretty much found them to be interesting. But to give you a general idea of what it is that Mr. Mxyzptlk can do, if it can be done, he can do it. That's the best way to describe his powers. That's the only way I know how to describe his powers. If you can imagine it, he can do it. Just think about that for a second. Anyway, guys, we're gonna go ahead and bring this video to an end. I hope you all enjoyed it. I know I'm not a regular here on Comicstorian, but yeah, if you guys enjoyed this video, if you guys happen to wander across the path of YouTube and come across Comicstorian's over 1 million subscriber channel, good God in heaven, that's nuts. Make sure you guys hit the sub button to become part of the, I'm dubbing you guys the Comicstorian Corps. There we go. You guys are the Comicstorian Corps now? Yes, become a part of that, and I guess I'll catch you guys later. Peace.